What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, I have a pot of coffee on. More than enough to go around today here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum on a rainy day outside of the museum. Guys, I've been doing some thinking. It's that time again. It's coffee time with M.I.B. Guys, we have a fantastic hot topic of discussion for you today. A discussion that, as collectors, we always have with ourselves. It's an inner turmoil, if you will, wrestling with this thought that we have. Quality control in the toy industry. We've all discussed it. We've all contemplated it, standing in front of a toy aisle, looking at toys, trying to figure out the best deal, the best quality, everything that centers around our hard-earned dollar. But guys, we want to, here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum, we want to go a little deeper and look into the quality control situation with certain toy companies. And we want to match quality control with cost. The cost to build these toys, the cost to manufacture them, to distribute them, all of that stuff. This might actually take 2 pots of coffee, guys. We'll start on our first one, though. Guys, quality control didn't mean anything to us as kids. We could care less about quality control. Just give us the toys. We didn't even control spending in our own households. So whatever our parents bought us, especially if it was a really cool action figure. We're looking at our Marvel Signature Series from Hasbro, Spider-Man. We could care less about quality control. Or it didn't dawn on us until the toy actually broke. Until we had malfunctions with the toy. I had some Tomlin Alien 8-inch action figures that were very cheaply made, very expensive now on the secondary market. And anybody that has Tomlin Alien, I believe it's called Alien Raiders or something of that nature. I had maybe 5 or 6 of those guys when I was a kid. Got them from Toys R Us. And my friend came over. He was playing with a few of them and broke one of the figure's arms. They were so cheaply made, you had to really handle these guys, with kid gloves. So, nevertheless, my best friend was definitely on my you-know-what list after that. But, but quality control. Didn't think about it until that toy broke. Didn't have to think about it. But now as collectors, as toy enthusiasts, as historians, as curators of museums, toy museums like I am, I have to think about these things. These things do concern me. Toys today, the manufacturers, are they getting over on us? Well, let's look into it. a lot of the big talk, and we'll swing around here, a lot of the big talk in the toy community has been about Figures Toy Company. Their Mego-like retro action figures that mimic Mego in every way except for one: quality control. I've heard it a million times from collectors that own FTC action figures. Beautiful to display, absolutely horrible to take out of the package and pose. Poor quality, poor plastics used. Now, the counter to that is I've had other FTC collectors state that the quality control has gotten much better as the years have gone by. Figures Toy Company has been a little bit more, what's the word I should say? They've been a little bit more adamant about making sure that these figures are being produced and manufactured in a more reasonable fashion. But the price is what we want to look at, and we want to look at the price for all of these guys, because you're talking about quality control. So what are we getting for our money? That's the $1 million question. What are we getting for our money? Mego burst back onto the scene a year ago, and they hit the ground running, and seemingly they have never taken their foot off the pedal. They are going 100 miles an hour right now. There were quality control issues at the beginning with misplaced limbs, arms being put on the wrong way, etc., etc. But Mego, having such a close connection to its fan base and consumer, recognized the situation after consumers and fans of Mego and collectors of Mego notified them what the situation was, and made some corrections. Everything down to even the box. On the first 14-inch Mego figures rolled off of the conveyor belt assembly line, you couldn't see the faces. The box was cut so low that you couldn't enjoy what you're seeing right now for this new Batman right here, this DC 52 Batman. You couldn't enjoy this with the first Batman that came off, because everything was cut off because of the cardboard, the different type of packaging they use. So Mego kind of addressed every little issue, or to the best to their ability. Now, there are still concerns with the tightness of the joints of the body, primarily in the waist region. Very floppy, very loose. As the 14-inch figures progress from wave to wave, I've heard great information that the body has gotten a little tighter, still loose, but Dr. Mego himself has stated that they will be looking into better ways to address that issue with the loose waist. Now, we said all of that to say you're looking at a beautiful DC 52 Mego 14-inch Batman figure that, if I didn't know anything about these figures up here on this stage, and I looked at this figure, I would assume that this figure is about somewhere in the $30, $35 price point range, maybe higher, maybe $40. This figure cost $20. So now you have a situation where quality control, price point, everything seems to kind of match up a little bit. You can almost excuse the fact that you're having some quality issues, quality control issues with this 14-inch DC 52 Mego Batman. figure, because you only have to pay $20 for this figure. But if you go over here and this Kretschky card, limited edition, Figures Toy Company, Superman, only 1,000 produced. I paid a little over, maybe after shipping and handling, maybe $36 for this figure, $37 for this figure, nearly $40 for this figure. And you're telling me if I take this guy off the card, I'm going to have quality control issues with this figure. That's a concern. That is a big concern, because you're putting out so much money. And you're telling me that you're not going to get a lot on that return. Now, I am a museum curator, an M.I.B. collector, so this Superman will never come off his card. But I've gotten tons of information about this particular figure that we're looking at, with the fact that he's poorly made. The plastics are very brittle and fragile. And for nearly $40, that's when the head scratching starts. Looking at our Buck Rogers, a beautiful, beautiful toy by Zyka Toys. Zyka is famous for their famous Zyka action figure body. No rubber bands involved. All joints. Ball joints. So no issues there. He was expensive coming out. I've heard everything from $25 to $30, or a little slightly less than that when he first retailed in stores. A deluxe figure, if you will. Beautifully made. So he's right at the right price, and for the quality build, the way he was manufactured and put together, he's worth it. So not only does this beautiful Buck Rogers Zyka toy figure, what's his 8.5, 9-inch figure, displays well, you can pose him, and he's very functional. And that's what we're talking about, guys. Leave your comments in the box. Are you paying too much for poor quality? We're looking at our Biff Bang Pow Sutek Doctor Who figure, which is one of my favorite from this Doctor Who line, from Biff Bang Pow. Beautifully done. Now, I've heard that Dr. Mego, these parts were used. His parts were used for the building and manufacturing of this Biff Bang Pow line, toy line. This figure is extremely heavy. And you're getting good quality when a figure is extremely heavy because of the plastics that are used. A light figure pretty much suggests that the plastics are hollow, or they're not high grade quality. Everything about this Sutek figure is beautiful. Outfit, everything, and he retailed at somewhere around $20, from what I'm being told, when he first came out. I paid somewhere around that much for him. So you're getting more bang for your buck, or you're getting your value for your dollar, and that's all about the quality control. Knowing that you know what, I'm getting good quality, I'm getting the value of my hard-earned dollar. And we turn our attention to our Space 1999 classic TV toys, which is an umbrella company, Figures Toy Company. These figures, I can tell you without question, they're very poorly made, and it doesn't take anybody that has these figures know this. They're very poorly made. This is the price I bought him at. They didn't retail for too much higher than that. So once again, you're getting what you pay for. These prices on these figures aren't very expensive. But if you handle this toy too much, this action figure too much, you're going to break them. Poor plastics, you know, just poor manufacturing. Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. But you know what? In saying that, it's a head scratcher. Because I walked into a Target the other day and got a M.I.B figure that was on clearance for $3.88, $3.88. So M.I.B is really just dispelling the notion that you get what you pay for. You can get a fantastic figure under $4 on a clearance rack. M.I.B figure. 8-inch action M.I.B action figure. So that really kind of dispels that theory. Our rapid deployment force. This is I used to know the name of this here. Yes, End Time Products. These toys came out back in the early 1990s and did I'm gonna say this. End Times Products did a fantastic job with what their vision was. They wanted to put a cheaper knockoff type action figure to compete with G.I. Joe, who also had just returned maybe a year prior. Here's the difference though. This figure retailed at around $9 when it first hit the stores, toy stores. These were in Toys R Us and other places during the early 1990s. $9. He was limited in articulation. He came with a ton of oversized, really fun, cool weapons and accessories. Great outfit, very colorful outfit, very limited articulation, but extremely rugged. I've seen one of these figures outside of its packaging. It built like a tank, an absolute tank. So you get what you're paying for. It's a $9 figure, $10 figure, very limited articulation, but he's gonna last forever. You can drive a truck over this guy and he'd be fine. Wouldn't have a scratch on him. So quality control was there. Guys, what are some of your quality control stories? Share it with us in the comment section right underneath this video. We would love to hear it, guys. Our Marvel Signature Series of Spider-Man. I've held one of these figures in my hand outside of the box. My son had it. It was a gift from his grandparents. And they found him at, I guess, at a flea market or something. And at the time, I didn't know what type of figure. I said, well, this figure kind of reminds me of a M.I.B figure, but with more articulation, ball joints all over the place. So he was made and put together extremely well, very heavy. Once again, extremely heavy. Articulation, head sculpt, everything fantastic. Outfit, beautiful. Price point on these, I heard when they retailed somewhere around maybe the mid-20s. Worth it? Sure. The quality control was there, guys. You're going to pay a little bit more for quality control in most situations. Most situations. M.I.B is dispelling that theory. M.I.B is literally, they're changing the way things are done. They're giving you quality control for an affordable price. You're literally getting more bang for your buck with M.I.B. But Migo is, they're the exception. They are the exception to the rule, where this quality control and price point factor comes into play. Buy what you like, always, guys. That's rule one of being a collector. But if we can educate or point some things out here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum to young collectors with our coffee time series and episodes and our other videos that talk about certain issues, that's what we're here for, to kind of pass information along. Know what you're buying. So you can't watch this video, go out and buy this figure here, and he breaks on you. Say, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Well, if you saw the video, guys, you know. Guys, I'd like to thank you for hanging out with us today over a hot cup of coffee on a rainy day outside of the museum. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.